So what was it like to live like a king? During the medieval times, a king was the figurehead of the state. In the early medieval times, the king's authority was less because the church and the pope had more influence and authority. But in the middle medieval times, the authority of the king augmented and he had the absolute power over the kingdom. The daily life of a medieval king began with the customary prayers and mass in their castle's chapel. After that, he would have breakfast and head to the council meeting where different kingdom affairs would be discussed as well as laws to be passed. In the afternoon, the medieval king would spend his time hunting with his attendants. Wars are also common during those times and the medieval king is the one who would lead his military to the battleground. The main duty of the king in the medieval times was to protect his kingdom from enemies. He was also responsible for the dispensation of justice and law enforcement in his kingdom. It was also the medieval king's duty to protect the Catholic Church and Catholic kingdoms. When it comes to education, the medieval king was not restricted to theoretical subjects because he was also taught outdoor sports such as hunting, sword fighting, and horse riding. He was expected to be good at both theoretical and practical educations. A medieval king mostly spends his free time doing hobbies like horse breeding and riding. Other hobbies of a king are playing chess, dice games, and hunting. During the medieval times, kings were considered the center of all authority. He held ultimate power over the people. All of these are still the same in the present time. The only difference is that wars are not evident today. But it is still the king's responsibility to maintain control over the kingdom, dispense justice, keep the peace, develop the society, and many more. Kings have a lot of responsibilities to attend to and their lives can be dangerous as well. But part of becoming a king is being one of the richest people in the world. In fact, many kings surpass the millionaire status quo and scheme higher for billions and fame forevermore. Here are some of the richest kings in the world. King Muhammad IV. King Muhammad IV was once the top banker in the small country of Morocco and one of the most notable in all of Europe. He has a net worth of $2.5 billion. Even before he became a king, he and his family run pretty much every profitable company in Morocco. When he became king in 1999, he made his father's birthday a non-working holiday to commemorate his late father's birthday. King of Thailand. King Bhumibol Adulyadej of Thailand is the longest reigning head of state in the entire world. He became king at the age of 19 and he is now 88 years old. He is also known to be super rich with a net worth in excess of $30 billion. His wealth comes from lots of real estate investments in Thailand and across the globe including a few banks and hotels. King Mansa Musa. In today's currency, King Mansa Musa's net worth was estimated to be about $400 billion. He reigned over the Mali Empire from 1312 to 1337. He had a golden inheritance and an abundance of luxuries. King Mansa was also a great businessman and economist and he gained his wealth through a supply of gold, salt, and ivory, which are the main luxuries and needs of the majority during that time. Albert II. He is known as the king of the princely house of Grimaldi. He is also the vice chairman of the Princess Grace Foundation, USA, a foundation that supports theater, dance and film. King Albert II has an estimated net worth of $1 billion. He was born in Prince's Palace in Monaco. It is one of the smallest countries in the world, but also one of the wealthiest per capita. William the Conqueror. He was one of the richest rulers to have set foot on Earth. His riches have been estimated to be between $209 billion and $229 billion. William reigned from 1066 to 1087 and was well known to be the first Norman king of England. King Abdullah. He holds the distinction of being the primary Jordan king. He became king in 1999 when his father, King Hussein, died. King Abdullah is also a huge admirer of science fiction. In fact, he is the majority investor in a Star Trek theme park in Jordan. He also owns a soccer team and some eateries. He lives a lavish lifestyle and his net worth is estimated to be $750 million. Alexander the Great. According to historians, the Great King, Alexander the Great, once granted one of his kinsmen a lavish palace that costs an estimated $650 million. Alexander the Great reigned for 30 years. He was so wealthy that he once gained over 1,100 tons of gold which were from just one city. Living like a king includes lots of responsibilities and danger. But on the other hand, it's also a life most people dream of. Kings are truly one of the most powerful and richest people in the world. If given the chance, are you willing to take all the responsibilities and live like a king?